What an experience it was a few years ago. I don't know if you remember. I was
yes, very well.
Oh, good. So yeah, I've kind of took leaps and bounds. I made a decision 4 years ago to obtain my psychology degree, which is no easy task at 56 years old. I tell you that it's challenging, but I did use a lot of the skills, and I still am using the skills that I learned through the program, and I'll continue to use them. It's my last year. Yay!
Congratulations.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Thank you for sharing, Evelyn. Thank you very much. David, you wanted to say something?
Nope, just getting all of my audio and video set up.
All right. Nice to meet you. Are you in the US?
I am indeed. I'm just outside of DC.
Okay. Yeah, we've been very very moved on and under stress watching the election. So everyone in Europe.
I work for the federal government, so I've likewise been stressed as well about
it. Okay, thank you, David. Courtney, you wanted to speak? You turned your camera on.
No, just saying hello. Saying hello. Thanks for organizing the session.
It's very important for us. Philip wrote an article that you may have read that we posted on LinkedIn, talking about links, connections, and relationships. Maybe Philip, you want to say a few words about how important this is for us to give this opportunity for sharing.
Yeah, we're probably experiencing what we try to say in this article, which was this Wilson story. There was an interesting experience that we had with the first lockdown, that a lot of things have been said about the technology taking over, and now it's easy, we can connect any way we want, and digital technology, etc., can facilitate and basically replace the face-to-face. And the sense of the article was trying to say that there are small things that cannot be done through technology. And yet, so it was more a question than an answer. It was just raising some kind of a question that we all have about how can we take advantage of that situation, because there are schools of thought which are very binary. So one said, technology cannot replace. Others say, well, of course it can replace. And of course, probably the answer is the middle. And interesting is to see how our approach can help mitigate and work on that, and try to develop some relationship that maybe the digitalization becomes an opportunity and not a threat. So that's what the claim for mini links being the connection to all of us. Yeah.
It's been very noticeable for us that since COVID and all the confinement that we have experienced all around the world, doing some coaching and working with individuals and companies, we have found a huge need for help and support. And this is where the heart of relationships and the importance of building links that are not just quick connections, but links that are deeper and that allow you and give you a space for sharing, for deeper sharing, for developing yourself through the relationship with others and the eyes of others, and accepting different points of views and so on. All of that we're working on through relationships to dynamize and revitalize relationships at their core input and what they can bring to you and to your life. COVID has been is a very traumatic experience for many of us. And we'll find that now more than ever, it's so important that we are present and that we offer these moments of sharing and these quality moments of exchange, because we know how destructive can relationships be and how constructive they can be when they're well handled. So this is what we're about, and this is what this community is about. Keeping in mind the genuine, generous, and generative mindset that that allows for these quality relationships to be developed and pursued. So we hope by giving these opportunities to go beyond the one course experience or the one moment of sharing. And Evelyn, it was interesting your testimony saying that 4 years ago you started with this, and still today in your psychology studies and probably in your practice you can use some of this approach of the Savoir-Relier. So we feel proud when we know that we can support and help people. We want to do more. We want to meet needs of individuals and communities as much as we can. And by building this Savoir-Relier community, I think we can scale more of our approach to other people, so that the benefits are not just at small scale, but larger scale. So that's probably part of the goal, because we know that it brings a lot of benefits. But as usual, I'm talking too much. So is there anyone who wants to?
Is it okay if I share a little bit more, or to expand on what you are articulating, which I think is it's wonderful. And honestly, for anyone who've done the program that you provide, it's phenomenal. Like, it's great. It really opens you up to not even just your immediate circle of influence, but expands it, which is fabulous. What I find interesting about the transition, and I've done both prior online education and actually being in an educational institution or university, there is different dynamics that happen, right? When you do it online, there's a certain quality, but in the presence of your fellow students and in just the energy that's on the campus and with your professors face to face, it's a totally different experience. And then everyone globally was cut from that, and we had to adapt, and almost feels regressive rather than progressive to go into our homes and to do it virtually. So that's a huge transition, and to be able to stay and maintain your own personal equilibrium inside, and all the dynamics of, okay, now that this space now is not only is it my bedroom, but it's my office, it's my school, it's everything. And you lose a little bit of the disconnect with just the energy of learning. I know that I had a harder time this spring, the quick transition for everyone to go online, to keep that interest in your classes, and to keep that information moving and solid, and to keep growing. It was really restricted. It's like, I don't have all these beautiful minds around me to tap into that energy together. So it is resilience, right? You're able to adapt and to learn everything that we've we're taught and talked about and experienced. So yeah, it's a great cumulative knowing that you're not alone, right? Knowing this doesn't happen to me. It's everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah.
So you can recognize a lot in that.
Definitely. Thank you, Evelyn.
That really resonates to when I did the exercise on resilience, because one of the main points of the downtimes is when you feel that you're alone, like because of physical injuries or because of your emotional state or whatever happened. But whenever you feel that you're alone is the moment that you get yourself in trouble, kind of. So yeah, that really resonates with my part in the experience also.
Mm-hmm. There was a message from 𝐓𝐶 saying that you were attending the course right now, building your leadership skills, and that you're anticipating the possibility of doing a master's program at HEC. So hoping that you reach your goal, 𝐓𝐶, that'd be very nice. And getting that real life experience is indeed something that brings a different kind of experience. we on the campus have had to cope with the moving from face-to-face to distance learning, and it has been a huge adaptation for everyone. The interesting thing about the digital is also that we have found some interesting new ways of interacting by using Zoom, for example, and some of it brings new light in terms of how you look at each other and how you try to better understand or focus on your relationship, because the fact that you see the face, a close-up on the face, whereas when you're physically present, you see a more holistic view of, you have a more holistic view of the person, that you can actually focus more when you really focus through the camera, or just the audio when you have your headset, for example. The focus is there, and it is definitely different, but there are some interesting benefits in the one-on-one or group work using Zoom. And I did have this one MBA course last spring that was supposed to be face-to-face, and that ended up to be from a distance with different time zones and so on. Still, the quality of particularly the one-on-one, the duo experience, when people were matched to do a duo, they came back with very, very, very forceful feedback on how they gained from one another, this exchange at a very particular time when there was a lot of stress, a lot of pressure from the confinement, and this new experience. And we believe that developing those one-on-one quality moments with after you've worked on yourself, after you've done a solo, can really help unleash some of the emotional barriers that you have in communicating with another person, including online, which, as Evelyn said, in those days is just unescapable. So might as well get the best of it.
There's one aspect that I'd like to share, and I think it's fascinating. Although I'm a student, I'm not 20, along with the other, majority of the students that I interact with are part of the program at the university. So I can relate more on the level of the professors, even though there is that distinction of, they are the professor and I'm still the student. But as a person, I can relate more in the demographics, the age part of it. And it's interesting to see how challenging it was for a lot of these professors that are so used to the face-to-face contact. Most of them never had any sort of technological experience whatsoever to like, okay, is this on? Like, you can see some of the videos when they're doing their lectures, am I doing that? Can you hear me? Is this good? So it's cute. So you're sharing, even though that the person themselves, we're all people, right? So, and respecting these people that are learning, they are learning the same way. They are becoming a student as we are all students. And yet they need to take all their beautiful knowledge and share it with a student. So it's funny how like these dynamics and all of these different variables change with different situations, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how some, don't mind doing the live async classes. They want face-to-face, they're there. And the willingness to draw a student out from when you have a class or a lecture that's 300 students. And who's going to put their hand up and engage, or the professor's trying to read 300 text messages coming up asking a question. So everyone's learning, right? How do I navigate around my ability as a professor to teach this course the way that I've been doing it for 20 years? Now I got to shift and do it differently. So there's really respect for everyone in different positions.
Yeah. And you're raising a very important point, which we often go back to when we initiate the Savoir-Relier approach, which is the learning mindset, the learning posture, which is the life is about learning. Life is about curiosity. If you don't bring your curiosity up to speed at all times, then you lose momentum, you lose the willingness to do things. And I keep saying that I've been a professor all my life with different roles in my career, but teaching has been not only a passion, but it's something I've done all my life. But every single time I walk into a room or I walk into a session, I know I'm going to learn as much as my students may learn, because that's true, and it's just life, and it is what makes the journey so valuable. Is that you don't go into a room thinking you're going to preach, the right words, say the right things, and share your knowledge as being on top of things. If you don't have the humility to say, well, the more I know that I don't know, and everything I do is going to be a moment of learning. That's what keeps me alive, at least. I don't know about others, but that's what makes me want to carry on. The sense of purpose, the driver. There's something to learn in everything we do, and if we have this posture, then we generate much more dialogue, much more opportunities to share and to learn from one another. So it's not a question of status, it's like leadership. It's not because you're the CEO of a company that you're a leader. You can be a leader in many ways, and the sharing element is where you grow and where you bring value not only to you but to others. So, Danielle, you shared something. Well, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for the joke. Yeah, keeping track. I have this joke on the course. If you've taken it, you remember that I ask you to try and remember the type of shirts that I wear from one session to the next, and I keep switching shirts so that you focus on something. Well, the anecdote is about your capacity to observe, and you know how this is so fundamental in our relationships, whether or not you are able to observe, and to observe not just the obvious, but what's beyond the obvious. So the little things, the little signals. We're talking about weak signals, and we are currently working with Philippe on some applications of Savoir-Relier in different areas. For example, burnout or stress or managing conflicts. And particularly with burnout, we find that the importance of your ability to observe others, to capture some signals that are in people around you that they themselves may not see, but that you could detect and help through that observation. People recognize some issues, some difficulties that they're facing early enough so that they can do something about it. This sense of observation that was anecdotal in pointing the number of shirts is actually your capacity to perceive and use your eyes and ears to capture those essential elements of understanding the other. And this is the ability that I want you to develop and keep on developing, because we tend to close in when we're facing a crisis or moments that are difficult, like many of us are right now. It's very difficult to open up, and observing forces you to open up. So this is what we encourage you to do more and to keep doing. Okay, Olena, you had your camera on. Did you want to share something?
Yeah, this is Emma. Actually, I'm from Congo. I'm actually in Africa. I followed your course, and it was really helpful for me because I had faced to a huge challenge.
Go ahead.
Somebody
else has a camera on, maybe.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It made me rethink a lot of things. Actually, when I work with foreign people, I mean in the international society or in an international company in China, in Beijing, I didn't feel a lot of cultural shock or huge difficulties to work with them to create something in common. It was not a obstacle for me because I learned French and I learned English. I don't think it's quite a problem. But now I am in Africa for 8 years. From last year, I began to work with Congolese garçon. He is quite passionate about what he's doing. It's the marketing through social media, and we work together. And this is the first time I work so closely with this with a Congolese person, and I feel enormous shock. I don't know how I can get along with him. I tried so much. Every time when I yelled, or maybe when I say, no, this isn't right, we should redo, we should rethink, you are not in the right direction, then I feel ashamed why I yelled. It's not good. I am a good person. Why I do this? Every evening I do this. Then in the evening when I see what he submit to me, and I feel angry again. And I know he's a good person. And we work together so hard. I don't know how. Then after this approach, I do with some peers, I rethink a lot of things. The way I treat this friend or a colleague from Congo, I think I understand why I didn't do it well before, and I think from now when I have to face these people again, I will use this approach face to face with him, and we will know a lot of things, a lot of roots why we are so different, why what he did I will never be satisfied, and why all these things happen. But it is really different from what I have experienced with French people, with Australian people, American people. It's quite different because we have not the same education background. That's the one thing. We have not the same standards on the quality of work, and quite opposite ways to see timing or some things planning. So it's really a huge challenge. I know I still not sure if I can pass this, but I think this approach will really help me. And maybe in next year I will have a team of 5 Congolese people working for me, with me, and I don't know how to handle this, but now I'm a little bit more confident.
Thank you so much for sharing. This is so powerful what you're saying, and it resonates so much with some of the exercises that we do early on in the approach. For example, what you're saying about not having the same references, the same education, and so on. But even to the notion of perception, this painting exercise that we do when you look at a painting and you describe what you see, and the other person describes what he or she sees, and it's different when you have the same reality in front of your eyes. So even in perception, you have different perspectives. So it's
exactly
objectivity that is. And the effort, and it's difficult because it's constant work to try and see with the other person's eyes and to try to understand where the person is coming from when they're saying what they say or when they're doing what they do. So this effort is part of what we encourage you to do, starting with the ladder of influence, coming down your ladder, looking at how you can help the other be more explicit about where they come from and why they think the way they do. And therefore, in that back and forth exchange, you learn from one another, and you learn to be more able to adapt and not necessarily agree, but at least understand. And when you start understanding, then you can start working together in finding the common ground, and will make you work effectively together, or simply be together in good terms and in good manners and good understanding. So thank you for sharing. This is so powerful. You know, this is our first experience, and we said just for 30 minutes of our time, so we don't want to take too much more of your time. We want to thank you for having been here with us this evening or this afternoon or this morning, and be assured that we will carry on with those live moments of exchange and sharing. Also keep in mind that we are doing new courses, new exercises. We have launched the first session of a course specifically on resilience in September. We have a new session starting on Monday. It's still time to sign up if you're interested. It really focuses on the work on resilience, using the same mindset, the same approach, but applying it to situations of resilience and developing the notion of resilience and the practice of resilience and pushing it further so that you can contextualize your work and your efforts within the life that we're living right now. And we have done this course in response to requests from many people demanding for support and help and building their resilience a step further. So this course is open and available for you. You can sign up. It's on a new platform called Kajabi, and Camila is sending all the links if you're interested. We are developing constantly new applications, new courses. We want to give you opportunities to pursue, to keep in mind that all those of you who have felt frustrated that after Coursera there was nothing left, but there is. It's on different platform, but it's the same mindset, it's the same practice, only applied to your needs. So if resilience is something you want to work on, that you want to develop further, you will get opportunities to meet new people and to exchange and share. As always, it's a very interactive course. It demands some of your energy and time, but it's the same spirit and the same practice. So we look forward to staying in touch. Stay tuned. We'll post like Camila did, and I want to thank Camila and the team, Taraja, Sami, Philippe, and Francesco for helping us, just share and open on the different networks, LinkedIn, Facebook, and the platform Savoir-Relier.com, of course. So thank you for being here this evening. Camila, you want to say something?
I would like just to like one last question, because we took the initiative to launch this like monthly get-togethers. We would like to know how do you feel about the monthly frequency? We thought of 30 minutes, maximum 40 minutes, so it's very short, but we can like be in contact in the long run, like every time a little bit in contact. So if you could just like type or share, what do you think about that? If monthly you think is good, and also about the time, if 30 to 40 minutes you also think it's a good timing. Thank you.
So you can say in the
Hi,
chat
Camila.
or on Facebook.
Hi.
I openly believe that it's a very good initiative. Valerie, hi. I'm so happy to see you again, because for me it's also like a whole. What the Coursera is finished. What to do next? Yeah, it's a very good initiative. I fully support it.
Thank you very much, Elena. Thank you all for being here. Please, you keep writing on Facebook, ask questions, answer those questions, and we'll keep posted and keep you posted and stay tuned. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye, Courtney.
Bye.
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 Bye.